안녕하세요, Srinivida. Heroes is back to film what I got for my birthday video. Apologies about the air unit because I know it's loud in the past few Zelda videos I've done. You can kind of hear it in the background, so I do apologize, but it is hot as a rip. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. There's a lot for me to go through. The first thing is one of the things that John got me, and it's this little dog. I named her Jenna. Kudos if you know the reference to that name, because I've been obsessed with the series recently, and that's where the character name came from. But yeah, I named her Jenna. There. I'm also gonna do kind of like an unboxing thing, so I had some stuff in the mail come in. But I'm gonna do most of what I got that wasn't in the mail, if that makes sense. So, I went to several different like manga and comic book stores, so I can't remember where I got which one from which. So, I'm just gonna pull randomly. I do have a bag at my feet, but I also have this bin on the bed that's got the rest of them. So, the first one is called Oh My Goddess. It is the first omnibus. I believe this is a 2-in-1, because it doesn't say on the side. I believe this is a 2-in-1. But I have heard nothing but good things about this series, especially from that manga dude here on YouTube. I've talked about him a few times now, but we did a collaboration together, so I want to support his channel as best I can. As a thank you for letting me be a part of the collab. You can definitely tell it's an older one based on the art style, but it basically follows the story of this college student named Keiichi, and one day he wakes up with this goddess in his bed, and he thinks it's a prank at first, but then realizes, oh, this is actually a real thing. And she said, what do you wish for? I'll try to grant your wish. And he said, I would like you to stay forever. So it kind of it goes from there. And I've heard it's really cute, but also could potentially have some more rough moments. Don't quote me on that. Going by what I've heard. You can sip my drink. Because I have really, really bad dry mouth right now. Let's do these. These were $5 each. I have Inukami 1, 2, 3. But I've been curious about this series for a while now. So I just decided I'd give it a go in general. Let me do it this way. So I just thought I would give it a go. But it's saying, Inukami, a mystical being with a dog-like appearance that forges a contract with a powerful human tamer to eliminate monsters and demons that prey on the innocent. So, I am excited to see how this goes. This one I got almost half off. And it is Kitchen Princess Volume 1, another older series, I think. I think it's an older one. Let me see if it says. It might say in the front. It is 2005, so yeah, it is an older series. And I say 2005 for English. I'm sure it came out a couple of years before we got it. That's typically how that works. But yeah, just a girl that really likes to cook and is trying to find a boy that left her a silver spoon that goes to a certain academy. I have Revenge of the Baskerville Bloodhound, Volume 1. I'm not going to go super deep into the synopsis of these just because I have so much to get through, so I do apologize. But I know Liddy Moon read this in a reading vlog where she was either going to collect it or donate it, basically. And she read this one and really enjoyed it, so it had me curious. If you are under the age of 18 and watching with your parents, please turn away. Briefly, I will say when you can turn your head back. But I have the Tea Ceremony Master's Rich and Steamy Service, spelled by his skillful hands. It is plastic wrapped. And this basically just follows a woman that is super serious about her job and has never been in a relationship, never had intimate relations, so then she meets a man who comes to her rescue after she's being harassed. So I was curious about it. I figured I'd give it a go. I have Attack on Titan Before the Fall, Volume 5. I'm enjoying this a lot more than I thought it would, given that it takes place, I think, several hundred years before the events of the actual Attack on Titan. I believe that's right. Pretty sure that's right, but he follows this young boy named Kuklo, whose mother was a Titan worshipper. She ended up getting eaten while pregnant with him, yet he somehow survives, and he gets the nickname Titan Son as a result, and now he's determined to try to destroy the Titans, in a nutshell. I have Fushigi Yugi Genbu Kaiden 6, 7, and 8. I've been trying to get this series. I'm currently missing 9 through 12, and then I'll have all of them. But because this is a prequel to the actual Fushigi Yugi, I'm not going to go into detail, in case you either are currently reading Fushigi Yugi or have been interested in it and you're not familiar with the prequel. I just don't want to spoil anything, but I was excited to find those. Get these out of here. They're heavy. As they slam. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I have 8 through 13, these are heavy, of solo leveling, and I have read all these. I went on a solo leveling binge, basically. And I really enjoy this series, personally. It's about this young man named Jinwoo, who was known as the weakest hunter of all time, but then goes into a double dungeon and things get a little crazy from there. That's all I'm gonna say. And the reason he's a hunter to begin with is because his mother is in the hospital and his younger sister is going to school that requires a tuition fee, so he's really the only one that can, you know, make money to support the family, basically. I do have 14 and 15 as well, but it's in the bag at my feet. Because I enjoy solo leveling so much, I have friends recommend Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint to me, so I got 1 and 2, and I'm excited to get to these. I have heard a lot of my friends talk about this, and that they enjoyed it, so I am excited to continue, or to start rather. Then another one that was recommended to me because of solo leveling is Tomb Raider King Volume 1. I only grabbed Volume 1 for now because I was trying to be somewhat mindful. I say that loosely, but I am excited to start that. Put these in here so that they are out of the way. And then, if you know me in person, you know why I picked this up. And if you have seen my review video on this series, then you know why. But I picked up Mars, the 30th Anniversary Edition. For those that don't know, Mars is my favorite manga series of all time. I have done a review on it on my manga reviews playlist. I believe it was one of the first ones that I ever did. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it was one of the first ones I ever did. But this follows a young man named Ray and a young girl, Kira. Ray is like the school bad boy because he races motorcycles and just has that stereotypical bad boy image. And Kira is like this shy, reserved art student. She's really good at art, but she has a lot of demons, as well as Ray. They both have demons that they're kind of battling within themselves. Please look up trigger warnings before reading this, because I know there is essay, taking of one's own life, things like that. So I would just be mindful of that before you pick it up, because I know that can really hurt some people, so just wanted to give that warning. These here. Okay. And then this is a box set that I got with help thanks to John, because I didn't have a Sam's Club membership, but him and his mom do. And it is the Warriors Cat books, but the graphic novels. So there's 1, 2, and 3 of The Prophecies Begin. And this is basically about cats that live in the forest who have their own way of doing things. There's 4 different clans, well, 5 different clans, I misspoke. They all have leaders, deputies, medicine cats, which are essentially healers, and then warriors, and then the apprentices that are learning from the warriors. So I mean, it's this big system that they have going, and I really enjoyed the series. I read actually the first 6 books, which is what those 3 cover, years ago. Sorry. Sore throat. Okay. These down here. Okay. Next is volumes 14, 15, and 19 of Angel Sanctuary. I am trying to get the entirety of the series because I've read up to volume 6 in the past. I'm gonna have to reread because it's been so long. And I really enjoyed it. This follows a young man named Setsuna and his sister Sarah. Okay, so it's saying, the angel Alexiel loved God, but she rebelled against heaven when she saw how disgracefully the other angels were behaving. She was finally captured and, as punishment, sent to Earth to live an endless series of tragic lives. She now inhabits the body of Setsuna Mudo, a troubled teen in love with his sister Sarah. So, yes, the concept sounds a little weird, but I really do think if you like more unique takes on angels, that you would really enjoy this. I hope to find 17 someday, because that's the only one I'm missing, because then I can binge read it and just really get to learn more about these characters, because some of these characters are a little wild, not gonna lie, but I am excited to see where this goes. Next I have Akira Failing in Love Volume 1. I got this purely because Kate Dins here on YouTube was talking about it and it piqued my interest. So. Then I have The Bugle Call Song of War Volume 1. I know this came out last year, I want to say. Let's see, was it last year? In Japan, it was 2022, but I think English was last year. But don't quote me on that. But I know Boogie Snacks on YouTube has talked about this, and a few other people I watch have talked about this. So it piqued my interest. I was really curious. But it follows this story of a young boy here that wants to be a full-time musician, but because he has a branding on him, he's not allowed to. But definitely stoked about that one. Next I have Twilight Princess Volume 2. I have read this one already, which will be in a reading log that I hope to film soon. It just depends on time, because now that I am back home, my shops are reopened, my Mercari and my Vinted, so I'm going to be busy with those for a little while. But just bear with me if the video's late, because things can get kind of crazy. But yeah, this basically follows Link, and the Kingdom of Hyrule gets overtaken by someone known as the King of Shadows, and as a result, because Link is special among the gods, he doesn't turn into just a soul, he turns into a wolf. And he has to face Zelda as a wolf, and he's ashamed to do so because he was training to become a knight to protect her. Next I have Volume 3 of The Guy She Was Interested In Wasn't a Guy at All, or aka Green Yuri, as some people call it. But I'm really enjoying this. It follows this girl here, like Mitsuki, and she goes into this record store because she's into a lot of like the classic rock, and she doesn't want her friends to know. And there's someone behind the counter that she mistakes as a guy because they have a face mask on, so the face is hidden. Come to find out, it's actually one of her classmates. So, very interested to see how that'll go. I have Tokyo Ghoul Volume 9. I am slowly trying to get my hands on all the Tokyo Ghoul volumes. I'm now missing 10 through either 13 or 14. I want to say 14. But this follows Kaneki, who lives in a world where there are ghouls, which are basically flesh-eating creatures that like to hunt humans. And one day goes out on a date with his crush, Rize, who works at a cafe he goes to. Turns out she is a ghoul and she goes after him. She ends up dying, but then he ends up getting her organs transplanted into him, so that he becomes half ghoul. It's very, very weird. But if you like darker series, then I would recommend this. And next I have The Merman Trapped in My Lake, Volume 1 and 2. These covers are gorgeous. But it follows a girl who heard stories from her great-grandfather about a sickly niece and the merman she owned, and then she goes to her ancestral home and finds a merman who believes that she has come back for him. So it's definitely an interesting premise, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Here. There we go. Okay. Another one where if you are a kid watching this, please turn your head briefly. I will say when you can turn your head back. And this is The Yakuza and His Omega Raw Desire Volume 1. And then I also have Sex Drive Volume 3. Like, this one, because it was at a used store, it was not shrink wrapped. This one is brand new, so it is shrink wrapped. But I have read 1 and 2 of this. They were very, very steamy. Just gonna put that out there. And I've been curious about this one since Kate Tins here on YouTube has talked about it. And she's into her shrink wrap series and is trying to read all of her steamship titles. And that was one that came up. Next I have The Summer Hikaru Died 7. This one I'm not going to go into too much detail because trying to explain it would be very, very complicated. But there is a Netflix show around this, and I've heard from my friend Dan that it's actually a really good adaptation. Danitaz Media here on YouTube. Sorry. Okay, here are 14 and 15 of Solo Leveling. Like I said, once I got all the volumes, I binged it just because I freaking love this series. It is so good. And then the last 2 are light novels, and it's Solo Leveling 1 and 2. Okay, so that's all those. I'm gonna go into the figures that I got. Let me get these scissors. Did not mean to do that. Cause I had some stuff in the mail. The first one I'm gonna do is this Jinwoo figure from Crosslink, I think. Pretty sure it's Crosslink, but I saw this and it was reasonably priced, so I had to scoop it up. There's also a Cha Hien one that can go with it, but I was more interested in just Jinwoo. Then I have Baekhyun Ho, who in the show can turn into a beast. He's kind of a mix between of a lion and a tiger to me. He's white like the white tigers, but then he's got the mane like the lion. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. But I saw this and had to grab it because as far as somewhat minor characters go, he's one of my favorites. Plus I like the White Tiger Guild anyway. And the last figure I got is the Jinwoo versus Cerberus, if I can talk. This was an insane fight in the anime, so getting to own the figure is really cool. I'm sorry about the glare. Okay, now on to the stuff that came in the mail. The first thing is Visions of Ascaflowne, Volume 6. I have been slowly trying to get this series. I'm only missing 7 and 8 now, because it is an 8-volume series, but basically follows this girl that gets teleported to another world where people control machines. And she finds out that she is the main pilot for the prince's machine known as Ascaflowne. So she's got to help him so that he doesn't die, basically. That is a very loose description, but I'm trying not to spoil anything because it is Volume 6. Okay, next was something my mom got me. There are these pink Hello Kitty slides. I left them in the bag just because it was easier. She also got me this skirt. Kind of reminds me of like a Japanese schoolgirl outfit, if I can talk, like the bottom. But it does have shorts built in. I'm hoping that it fits because since I've lost a little bit of weight, it makes things a little bit more difficult, but hopefully it'll fit. Let's do this envelope right here. There we go. This is a solo leveling Jinwoo card that I purchased because I'm trying to, like, the two main characters I'm trying to get cards for are Shishomaru and Jinwoo. And right now, because there's that Union Arena collab with solo leveling, I feel like getting Jinwoo might be a little bit easier, knock on wood. But as soon as I saw this for a couple bucks, I just grabbed it because I really wanted it. Alright, let's see. My hands are pretty shaking. There we go. My hands are shaking bad lately. I don't know what's up. Oh, these are they're like little, just like pictures of Jinwoo. There's one of him with Egress. She must have threw the Inumaki one in because I did not get Inumaki. And I don't recognize this one. So if you know this character, please let me know in the comments. The puppy looks familiar, but I don't recognize the character holding it. I don't mind the Inumaki one though, because he's one of my favorite characters of Jujutsu Kaisen at the moment. But yeah, just a bunch of different, like, there's him fighting Argalgan. So yeah, just a bunch of pictures. I plan to pick up journaling again, hopefully, and these will go great in there. I'm really confused as to what that character is, though. Let's do this one next. This one, I believe, is the poster for or from Anime Expo this year. Someone was selling it for a reasonable price, so I just went ahead and grabbed it. There we go. Oh no, this isn't that. This is the sign I ordered. I got this really cool solo leveling sign that's gonna go on the shelf with the manhwa. Surprised it was in something that big, to be honest, but I was glad it didn't arrive damaged because there was no bubble wrap on it. And the last box, if I can get it open. There. Yeah, this is the picture. So there's Jinwoo on one side, and then a promotional picture of Ragnarok featuring Suho. Keep that paper to reuse. Yeah, that is everything that I got for my birthday, whether it be buying something or, you know, John buying me something or his mom. His mom actually gave me the dress that I'm wearing. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I know it was super long, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget anything. And with all that being said, I will talk to you guys soon in another video at another time. Hi, Roses. Annyeong.